Follow along as I take this Wagner griddle that was made between 1930 and 1950 from this into this. So on this restoration, I didn't use my electrolysis tank. I started off by putting the griddle in my lye bath for about 2 days before I checked in on it. Here you could see all the old gunk and seasoning start to come off. I took it upstairs and gave it a solid scrubbing with an SOS pad. Here you can see how much better it looks, and any discoloration that you see now is rust. So I took the griddle back downstairs and put it in my vinegar bath for 40 minutes. So on the back of the griddle, you could really see where the vinegar pulled out the rust. So I took it back upstairs and gave it another solid scrubbing. It looks really good, but I just don't think it's quite done yet. So I'm going to take it back downstairs and put it in the vinegar bath one more time for another 40 minutes. "40 minutes later, and it's time to take it back upstairs and give it another scrubbing. So it's a little hard to tell from this camera angle, but the vinegar bath actually left the griddle a bit streaky. I believe that's because it's time to replace my vinegar bath. You can see how dark crimson red this vinegar bath is, so I'm going to put it in one more time for another 40 minutes to get rid of that streakiness. Alright, so it looks so much better. The streakiness is gone, so it's time to season the griddle. Make sure you go back to my channel and watch the how to season your cast iron video. But I start by oiling up the griddle. In this case, I'm using a special seasoning compound that I'll be talking about very soon. I make sure to get the oil everywhere and I don't miss any spots. Once it's completely oiled up, I take a clean rag and wipe off all of the excess oil. It's looking good, so let's get it in the oven. And I have my oven set for 450 degrees, so I'm going to put it inside the oven for 1 hour. And man, this thing is looking gorgeous after just one round of seasoning. So let's get it ready for the second round. Nothing changes here. I get the griddle completely oiled up and then I wipe off the excess oil. And in this case, for the second round, I let the griddle cool down just enough that I could safely touch it before oiling it up. It looks great, so it's time to put it back in the oven. Now, it was pretty late when I ran it through the second round of seasoning, so I just let it sit in my oven overnight, which is why I'm grabbing it with my bare hand, and you can see that it definitely looks darker. So let's get it ready for the third round of seasoning. Gorgeous, let's get it in the oven. It looks a little bit darker, but not much, so now I could tell that it just needs one more round of seasoning, so let's get it prepped for the fourth and final round. And once again, on this last round of seasoning, it was late, so I just let it sit in the oven overnight. And wow, check this out. This griddle is absolutely stunning. The seasoning came out great. It's super dark, and look at these beautiful factory swirls. This griddle is stunning, and I would say another restoration well done. Make sure you head over to my channel so you can see the video where I show you how to do this in greater detail. And like and subscribe.